In the previous genetics topic, just I have completed two types of genetic disorder. That is, one is hemophilia and the second one is sickle cell anemia, and the one was remained, and that was phenylketonuria. Phenylketonuria, PKU. What is this phenylketonuria? So phenylketonuria is what? The inborn disease and that to be autosomal recessive defect. Autosomal recessive defect. If any individual suffering from PKU, and in such individual, you see here the phenylalanine is not converted into tyrosine. Phenylalanine is not converted into tyrosine because, and that is due to the lack of enzyme. Lack of enzyme, and that enzyme particularly is not mentioned in our book. The name of the enzyme is phenyl hydroxylase. The enzyme name is phenyl hydroxylase. Remember, and that phenyl hydroxylase is absent in such person. When it is the person who are suffering from the PKU, in such person there is a lack of phenyl hydroxylase enzyme, and thereby phenylalanine not converted to tyrosine. Phenylalanine not converted to tyrosine. Instead of this phenylalanine is converted into phenyl pyruvic acid. Phenyl pyruvic acid. And this phenyl pyruvic acid, and day by day and year by year, begin to accumulate in the blood. Begin to accumulate in the blood. So thereby here more and more phenyl pyruvic acid accumulation take place, and then it also go to the brain, and slowly, so brain what result in the retardation, brain retardation, and it is called as also mental retardation. And such a person will be what looking to be very retarded type, and the almost all IQ level also gets down, and that is because of accumulation of phenyl pyruvic acid in the what? The brain region, and sometimes it also going along with the urine also, and it is a severe case. So that is because of absence of what enzyme? Phenyl hydroxylase. In the normal form, what? In the normal form, what happen? The phenyl alanine is converted into what? Tyrosine in the presence of phenyl hydroxylase. Phenyl hydroxylase enzyme present, and that converted into what? Tyrosine. But in absence of this phenyl hydroxylase, phenylalanine is converted into what? Phenyl pyruvic acid. And slowly that get accumulated in the blood, and then from the blood it also go to all part of the body, including the brain, and due to the acidic content what circulate in the brain, the nerves, etc., neuroglial region, etc., slowly the retardation of the brain start, and that is what you call the phenylketonuria, and day by day IQ levels also gets down. So this is the last genetic disorder you are studying, and this is about the Mendelian disorder or genetic disorder. Okay, now next we will move on to the last of this genetic, and that is chromosomal disorder. Chromosomal disorder. Chromosomal disorder. What is this chromosomal disorder? Chromosomal disorder also may be occur due to deletion or addition of chromosome. One chromosome may be extra added, or one chromosome may be removed from the set, the diploid set, and sometimes the short one chromosome removal is also may be taken place, and that all is called as a chromosomal disorder or anomalies, and it is also called as aneuploidy. is called as aneuploidy. Aneuploidy means abnormal condition of the chromosome. Aneuploidy means what? Abnormal condition of the chromosome. Generally we call it as a chromosomal disorder. Technically we may call it as what? Aneuploidy. What is aneuploidy maybe? So aneuploidy means a deletion or addition of chromosome, and that result in alteration of the chromosome, and that is also called as what? The aneuploidy. Now here in aneuploidy there are two types of aneuploidy is there, and that is one is autosomal aneuploidy. Autosomal aneuploidy. And second one is it is an allosomal aneuploidy. Autosomal aneuploidy and the allosomal aneuploidy. What is autosomal aneuploidy? Autosome means autosome means body character carrying chromosomes are called as autosomes, and they are sometimes otherwise called as what? The somatic chromosome. And allosomal aneuploidy means allosome means what? It is a sex chromosome. Allosome means what? Sex chromosome means a sex chromosome also sometimes alter. And here so there may be a chances of aneuploidy. So now there is a two type of aneuploidy you have to study. There is one is autosomal and allosomal. And for autosomal there are two examples are there. There is one is called as Down syndrome. You have already studied in the previous online class the Down syndrome. And another one is it is what? The one it is a Down syndrome, and another one is autosomal disorder. There is only one example is that. For allosomal there is two examples are there. Down syndrome is only the one example for this according to the syllabus. For autosomal aneuploidy there is only one example is there, and that is called the Down syndrome. And then for allosomal disorder there are two examples are there. The first one is Klinefelter syndrome. Klinefelter syndrome. And for second one is Turner syndrome. There are two type of syndromes are there, remember, Klinefelter and the Turner syndrome. Let us move on to the first. This is the first. Down syndrome is an autosomal aneuploidy. Means I think you understood. See, in any human being, the karyotype you have to write like this: 44A plus the X means it is what? Female. And the symbol is like this. Now, and then 44A plus XY, and that is a male. Okay, and then the symbol is what? Like this. See, here the condition, the 44A plus XX and the 44A plus XY, one is a male, this is a male, and this one is what? Female. This is a normal karyotype. Andre ಏನು 44 autosome, now and 2 sex chromosome, 44, 45, 46. See, here is also same. So means in all human beings, either the male or the female, autosomes are almost similar. Only what differ? Only one chromosome differ. That is, the one is X, another one is a Y. And that to be the one X and the another X of the male and female. That is also same, almost the same. This X and this X is same. Only what differentiate? Y and the X differentiate the male and the female. That is why you must remember morphology and the anatomy of male and the female is what? Same. Only that X and Y will play a very important role in the determination of the sex, and this is a prior introduction regarding the Down syndrome. Now let us come into the Down syndrome. See, these are the two what here? These are the two the sex chromosome. This is 2 sex chromosome and this is 2 sex chromosome. And now Down syndrome, as I said, autosomal aneuploidy. So means autosomal aneuploidy means what? Here these are the autosome. Means in autosome only changes take place, not in the sex chromosome. Sex chromosome ಏನು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. It is remains same. It remains same. And only herein. So what happened? See, Down syndrome first time observed by Long Don, the name of the scientist, Long Don, who first time observed this syndrome. That doesn't mean that Down's having this syndrome. Long Don first time observed, and that is why it is called as Down syndrome. And that to be he come to know that 21st autosomal set. 21st autosomal set means see here how many the sets are there? 22 sets. 22 sets means 22 pair. See, this is one pair, first pair, second pair, third pair. So like this here, 21st pair, this is a 21st pair, and then 22nd pair. Second pair. And totally total number of chromosome will be 44. That is what 44A. Either male or female is the same. Correct. See, in all these set, two chromosome present. Starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 19, 21, 20, 21 like this. 19, 20, 21. Thus this is a 21 and this is 22. And then next one X or Y if it is a male, or if it is a X if it is a female. I think you understood. See here, what happened? Here in the 21st set having 3 chromosome instead of 2. Got it? 3 chromosome instead of 2. ಅಂದರೆ 21ನೇ ಸೆಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. 2ರ ಬದಲಾಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 2ರ ಬದಲಾಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 3 ಇದೆ. So that is why here this is otherwise called as 21st trisomy. 21st trisomy. Why? The 21st set containing 3 chromosomes instead of 2. ಟ್ರೈಸೋಮಿ ಅಂದರೆ 3 ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. 2ರ ಬದಲಾಗಿ 3 ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಇದಾವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಡೌನ್ ಸಿಂಡ್ರೋಮ್ಸ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಸರೇನು 21st ಟ್ರೈಸೋಮಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ 2n+1. 2n ಅಂದರೆ it was actually this was earlier diploid. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೋ? ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್. ಅದೇ ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೆಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಅಂತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ಮೊದಲು ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಇತ್ತು. One more is added extra. So because 2n+1. So it can be written also as the 2n+1. And since it is a 21st trisomy and the total number of chromosome, ಈಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತು total number of chromosome 44A ಇದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಗಾಗಬೇಕಾಯಿತು. And when the Down syndrome, it will result 44A plus XX, or it may be 45A plus XY. So means total number of chromosome become 47. Total number of chromosome become 47. In other words, either the male or the female in the Down syndrome, what the 47 chromosome present instead of the normal 46 chromosome. Actually here is also 46 and here is also 46. So one chromosome extra. Where one chromosome extra? 21st chromosome that containing pair containing one extra chromosome. That is why 2n+1. Hence it is called the 21st trisomy, and it was first time discovered by the Down, and that is why it is called the Down syndrome. And what are the characteristic features of the Down syndrome? So Down syndrome, what the person means the person who having a Down syndrome, and they have the round face. Face is almost round and flattened forehead, and then salivating and always open mouth. ಮೌತ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಸಲೈವೇಟಿಂಗ್, ಪ್ರೊಟ್ರೂಡೆಡ್ ಟಂಗು ಕೂಡ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಚಾಚಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಟಂಗು ಕೂಡ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಟ್ರೂಡೆಡ್ ಟಂಗ್, ಸಲೈವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೌತ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ 2 ಐಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಬಿಗ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪಾಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಲೈನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಾಳ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೌನ್ ಸಿಂಡ್ರೋಮ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗೋ ಟು ವಾಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನೋಟ್ಸ್, ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. But I think you understood the Down syndrome is due to this reason, 21st trisomy, and which both male and the female 47 chromosome present, because 21st chromosome having 3 chromosome instead of 3. This is about the first autosomal aneuploid. I think you understood. Now next we will go to the next one. It is the allosomal. ಈಗ allosomal ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ so allosomal disorder is 44A plus XX is a female, and then again 44A plus XY is a male. That is you know. Here what take upon? Here in allosomal changes take place. Allosomal here in allosomal number may be vary. And how? See, it is not a case of the autosome, because you are studying only allosome. 2 are the Klinefelter and first one Klinefelter, Harry Klinefelter, who first time discovered this syndrome, and according to him the herein the instead of 2 3 allosomal chromosomes present, sex chromosome present, 3 sex chromosome present, and the karyotype may be a 44A plus XY. And the total number of chromosomes becomes what? 7, 47. And herein, the instead of 2, how many sex chromosome present? The one extra sex chromosome present, one extra. So this again become triosome. This again become triosome, and it can be also written as 2n plus 1. Of course, it is again 3 chromosome containing. Either it may be a autosomal or the allosomal. For autosomal, specific name it is given 21st, because in the 21st chromosomal set only change. But here in this, there is no variety of pair. Only one pair is there, X chromosome. That is why we can't give any number. So that is why directly it is given triosome. 2n plus 1 means here one extra chromosome that is present in the sex chromosomal set, and that may be particularly in the male. Actually, the normal person should be having this one, but one extra X chromosome present in the male, one extra X chromosome present in the male, and such individual generally are the sterile, and either he may not be the male completely or may not be the female completely, and both the tendency, both the character, male character is there, female character is there. The male character like very tall stature, the beard and mustache andre meese dadi ella bartade, matte shoulder is also like the male, stature is also like a male, the voice is also like a male, but female tendencies are also there. Female tendency andre female tendency like the formation of breast, and then feminine character, the gynecomastia and the feminine character, that also may be sometimes, but they are still sterile. They cannot produce the next generation. ಮುಂದಿನ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, because they are sexually they may not be sometimes active also, and reproductively they cannot carry any individual, so reproductively they also may be inactive. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಚಕ್ಕಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಚಕ್ಕ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಅವರು ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಟೈಪು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೇಲ್ ಟೈಪು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಟೈಪು ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಮೇಲ್ ಟೈಪು ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ the wearing of dress also sometime may be like a female, because female tendency is more than, sometimes that depend again he or she may, what you call, they are not he or she, such person may be also wear like the male dress. So like this the tendency, what kind of tendency is that, like this. So that is why generally that individual is a male, but one extra X chromosome irodrinda, and that more tendency goes to the what, the female. But even then, Y dominate over the double X. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, Y single Y dominate the double X. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾರ್ಫಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಟೈಪೇ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಮೀಸೆ ದಾಡೆ ಬರೋದು, ಮತ್ತು ನಂತರ ಮೇಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂರ್, ಹೀಗೆ ವಯಸ್ಸು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಟೈಪ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಟೈಪೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಟೈಪ್. ಸೊ ಅದು Y ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಾಮಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, and because of this reason, so remember, so this is called the Klinefelter syndrome, is an again autosomal disorder. Now next one is the Turner syndrome. So the Klinefelter syndrome is otherwise called as what? Triosome. And the next one is the Turner syndrome. What is this Turner syndrome? So Turner syndrome is also the same here. See, this also may be particularly it is a X and XY. Generally it is saying is that it is generally occur in the female than the male. Generally female dalli baruvanತಹ disease ಇದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ, and that is Turner syndrome. But what happened here is, particularly in the female, the 44 normal autosomes will be there, but in sex chromosome one may be deleted and become 0, and thereby total number of chromosomes become 45. So it means there is a loss of one X chromosome in female and remaining only one X, and the total number of chromosomes become 45, and then we can write, and this is the case is called as the monosomy. This is called as the monosomy, and also it can be written as 2n minus 1. ಅಂದರೆ ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ ಒಂದನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಒಂದು ಮೈನಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, and that is what 2n minus 1, and this is 2n minus 1, and so thereby it is called as a monosomy. ಅಂದರೆ mono ಅಂದರೆ ಸಿಂಗಲ್, ಒಂದು ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ, and that is why it is called as what, the monosomy. And this monosomy may be due to the what, removal or deletion of one chromosome, one X chromosome, one extra chromosome, or one sex chromosome from the diploid set, and that is why it is called monozomy. And if it is so, what the such individual are again sterile, they are female, and such a female may not carry any female in the more character, and then the menstrual cycle also not maybe occur. Menstrual cycle menstrual cycle also maybe not occur, and all sex organs are rudimentary. Andre yavadu sariyagi develop agudilla, and it may be a breast or any sex organ like ovary, etc. They are all rudimentary, and they may not mature properly, and also not carry any reproductive cycle, and maybe how the age passes like 13, 14, 15, and also maybe occur death. So in this way, here the Turner syndrome that may be occur in what generally in the female, that is because of loss of what one, the sex chromosome, loss of one sex chromosome, and that particularly from the what, the allosome. So this allosome makes a little difference in the female, and thereby here the one chromosome completely lose and result in the monozomy. So this is about the aneuploidy what you studied, chromosomal disorder, chromosomal anomalies also we called, and technically it is called as aneuploidy, and this aneuploidy what may be in autosome as well as allosome, autosome as well as allosome, and this is about the chromosomal this. See, particularly now from this chapter, according to the scheme of evaluation and the blueprint, and hardly the 7 to 8 marks question is guaranteed. And what you studied in this chapter, particularly the laws of Mendel, particularly law of segregation, then law of independent assortment are very important. Either of the one is asked every year in the the old question paper you just go through, or otherwise same may be converted into the one gene inheritance and the two gene inheritance. One gene inheritance is an example for the law of segregation. You must know that. Once again I am telling you, if it is asked one gene, if it is asked the law of segregation, deduce the law of segregation with example, suitable example, and you can directly go to the one gene inheritance. If it is asked deduce a law of independent assortment with a suitable example, and then you can directly go to the two gene inheritance. So one gene inheritance is otherwise called as a monohybrid cross, and two gene inheritance is otherwise called as a dihybrid cross. Okay, so that is the two are very important. Many times it is asked for the 5 marks question, that you must remember. Then next one is incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance is also asked for the 3 marks question. See, incomplete dominance, and particularly snapdragon plant, and that is also is given snapdragon antirrhinum plant. So that you have to deduce is almost the one gene inheritance. The name of the plant is only different. Red flowered and white flowered. When it is crossed, the pink flower what you got, that presentation is scheme of presentation you have to give, and that is for the then codominance. For codominance also many times it is codominance is asked for 3 marks question as well as for the 2 marks question. Blood group particularly, that is also asked. So what is codominance? Give an example, or how the inheritance of codominance have taken place. That also may be asked for 1 marks also asked, 3 marks also, 2 marks also question also is asked. So that is one. Then next one is sexual determination, and many times sexual determination is also asked for the 3 marks question. Sexual determination in the human being, sexual determination in the insect, particularly in the grasshopper, and sexual determination in what? The birds. Means there is one is XY type, another one is X0 type, and another one is ZW type. X0 type is an insect, X0 type is an insect, and XY type you studied in the human being, and ZW type you studied in the bird. So remember, these all are very important, and note ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ. So it is asked many times, and so you may be given prime importance to the example also. And then finally you studied the Mendel disorder. Mendel disorder you studied what? The hemophilia, the sickle cell anemia, and this one. And many times it is asked for the 2 marks question. Hemophilia is asked, sickle cell anemia is also asked, and phenylketonuria may be asked for the 2 marks question. And so with this last one is chromosomal disorder, and it may be asked the chromosomal disorder, briefly write the autosomal disorder in the human being, and only one example given, and there is a Down syndrome. It may be asked for the 3 marks question, or sometime it may be also asked write the characteristic features of Down syndrome, the Klinefelter syndrome, and the Turner syndrome. Many times it is asked, just go to the question paper, at least the 4 characters you have to write. It may be asked for the 2 marks. Characteristic feature of the Down syndrome, characteristic feature of the Klinefelter syndrome, and Turner syndrome is generally asked not it is asked many times, but Klinefelter and Down syndrome is asked. It is rarely asked. Turner syndrome is asked rarely, but these 2 one asked regularly. Down syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, and at the same time, on the 1 marks question, you also have to know for the karyotype of the Down syndrome. Down syndrome karyotype the Down syndrome karyotype is what? The 45A plus XY or XX. So one is a male and another one is a female. And then for Klinefelter syndrome, and the Klinefelter syndrome is 44A plus XY. Correct? And here in this 44A plus X0. So that is why it is a 21st trisomy and 2n plus 1. This is a trisomy only because 3 sex chromosomes are there, and this one is a monosome. So means there is a loss of 1 sex chromosome, and that is why it is an X0 case. So in this way, here the 21st trisomy, then a trisomy, and then monosomy are the example. It may be also asking the 1 marks question. So like what trisomy means what? 21st trisomy, give an example. Then only sex chromosomal trisomy, give an example. For monosomy also you give one example. Maybe so with this, so your genetics topic completed. See, in the online class, our Zoom app, where also you studied the genetics, and that schematic representation etc. also have given, and some handwritten the scheme also I have shared in your WhatsApp group also, and probably now our YouTube class also help you to study more about the this is about the the genetics. Now in the next class we will continue the molecular basis of inheritance chapter.